Okay, so wouldn't those in heaven in the very presence of God, if they did pray for us, wouldn't every prayer be answered in the affirmative? Because we're told that, we're told actually in James 5, Elijah was a man just like us. He prayed earnestly that it would not rain. It did not rain. Again he prayed. And Elijah was a man just like us. So the prayers of the faithful, God answers. God answered Elijah's prayer when he was on earth. He had enough faith that God answered that prayer. Well, then those in heaven would have no lack of faith. Their faith would be sight. They would see. Well, I think I think faithful prayer is important. It's significant. There are those passages. But I also think there's another dimension of prayer. And that is when the prayer of the faithful say, Lord, this is what we would want, and we're asking you for it. But we recognize that may not be what you want. And so we would pray for somebody's healing. And I remember praying for a friend's healing many, many years ago. Dave and Cindy, were you around in the Greg Coffee days when Greg was, yeah. I mean, I knew you were on the planet, but I meant, were you connected with that? Yeah, a bunch of us who were friends back then, this guy, was in this horrible accident, and I was praying that God would heal him, and many people were. I've never had so much faith about anything in my life. I think I could say I was certain that God was going to heal Greg, and he didn't. And I had to really reassess what I was believing and come to an understanding that there is the prayer of faith, but there is also, even with the prayer of faith, there must be a bowing of the knee to the sovereign God who knows better. So I think the answer to that would be those in heaven could pray with absolute faith that God answers prayers, but I don't know that they would be able to know how he should answer them. See, God does so many things that only God knows to do. And we will not be infinite in heaven. We won't know everything in heaven. And therefore, we won't know. When we ask him something, I don't know that we would always know that he would answer, at least not in exactly or precisely the way we prayed.